Thanks, Max. Shifting our focus now to ASU men's basketball. We got some developing news this morning as guard DJ Horn entered the transfer portal. He joins Jemiah Neal, Enoch Boakye, and Lufer Muhammad.
These players hitting the portal just shortly after their round of 64 exit in the NCAA tournament. Horn and Neal especially, Kevin, some of the key pieces this past season for ASU. So if these players or any of the players decide to opt out into the transfer portal, Bobby Hurley will need to do some portal recruiting of his own like he did a season ago. But if there's any other indication, Hurley's here for the long haul, a 2-year contract extension that he signed on Tuesday, which will keep him in Tempe through 2026. Yeah, unfortunate that ASU got bounced from the big dance as early as it did, but to help us check up on the Sun Devils stock throughout the entire season, here's Anthony Remedios.
Well, now that we know that Coach Hurley has been extended, let's take a look back at the team, how the team's stock levels roller coastered throughout the past season. November 17th marked the first major victory of the season for ASU, a 25-point upset win over then number 20 Michigan, in which 4 Sun Devils each finished with double-digit points. That win was the second of a 9-game win streak that earned ASU its only ranking of the season at number 25. How about that? Then came the USF game, where the Sun Devils were victims to one of college basketball's biggest blowouts of the season, 97-60. But despite the beatdown in San Francisco, the Devils got started with an impressive 15-3 overall record and 6-1 in Pac-12 play as they welcomed the number 5 UCLA Bruins to Tempe. With the Pac-12's number 1 seed on the line and Coach Hurley's best start at ASU, the Devils ended on a 16-2 run in the game's final 3 minutes and defeated the Sun Devils 74-62. The first game of a 4-game losing stretch for the Sun Devils. Now, the next month was largely inconsistent for Hurley and his squad, but let's fast forward to February 25th in Tucson. Sun Devil stock rose once again when Desmond Cambridge Jr. single-handedly sunk the Arizona Wildcats on this buzzer beater from beyond half court. Ultimately, a deep run to the semifinals of the Pac-12 tournament earned ASU an 11-seed play-in game against Nevada, which turned out to be their best performance of the season and a dominant 98-73 victory before falling to TCU at the last second in the round of 64. So with a fair amount of positives to look back on from the season, here's what Bobby Hurley felt about that following the loss to TCU.
You know, between the Arizona buzzer beater and the run in the Pac-12 tournament and winning probably one of the biggest games in your time here against Nevada the other night, there's certainly been a lot of positives up until this moment, and certainly a great game played tonight. Where do you feel that the state of this program is entering, you know, the off season and trying to get back here to the tournament after a really good run?
Did you watch the game? That's the state of the program.
Kevin, Arizona State hasn't necessarily been known as a basketball school at like maybe any point ever. I mean, there's been some successful teams, yes, but none that really jump off the pages. This team was able to prove some doubters wrong, but is this truly the ceiling for ASU basketball? Round of 64 exits in first 4 games?
I don't know, Ethan, but whether the program has been getting better or not, everyone will tell you that this is a results business. And the results show that ASU hasn't made the round of 32 since 2009 when a guy by the name of James Harden, you may recognize him, was a sophomore leading the way for the Sun Devils.
Well, it's tough to get results when you don't feel like you're getting a lot of support. ASU President Michael Crow recently spoke to the state press saying, quote, "You've been there. It's completely functional. It's actually a fine facility and just needs some updates." That facility is completely functional. It does not determine if we win basketball games at all. Calvin, I want to get your thoughts and your first reactions to this statement.
Well, it might be a fair rebuttal for Michael Crow to say that, but when you're trying to continuously grow and build a program like Arizona State is, recruiting matters. And a big draw to these recruits is the kind of the state-of-the-art facilities that you have and what they can do for them, the athlete. So a building like DFA may be functional, but when you're thinking about it, it's not actually functional, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Kevin, President Crow saying ASU doesn't need any type of facility upgrade is like me walking into a computer engineering class today with a laptop from '06, Kevin. It's just not going to get the job done. ASU's going to have to find a way to bring guys in despite the issues with the facility because the guy with the power, with the say, he's not having it right now.
Yeah, and while Crow has faced backlash on social media for some of these comments, he's choosing to focus on the positive, which is a 23-win season and the Bobby Hurley contract extension.
Well, Kevin, maybe it's fair to say that ASU basketball is a program that could use some more dopamine?
What? Dopamine?
Yeah, I mean, the naturally occurring chemical that makes you feel good, brother. Come on.
Dude, we were just talking about stadium renovations and winning basketball games. Where did dopamine come from?
ASU football head coach Kenny Dillingham at spring practice has been an absolute blast for players putting in that dopamine. We've seen a basketball hoop, linemen kicking field goals. Here's what the coach had to say about having fun at practice.